women our institution, Mayor Ajmer. She has been an epitome in the political scenario of Ajmer, working for the betterment and the function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. Unquote. The prize giving is such an intense occasion that it is awaited by all alike. Without further delay, let us call upon the winners to be glorified and awarded. Competition, we have the Shank Megvanshi at first position. Is in the Hindi storytelling competition. At the third, the Hindi recitation competition, we have Purvi Chandawat at the second position. In the English recitation and English storytelling, Yuvika Rajawat stood first and stood third in the show and tell competition. In the English recitation, Bhumika stood at third position. English recitation, Atharva Kalawat stood second, and Hindi storytelling again at second position. In the Hindi writing competition, we have Mishita Joshi at the first position. In the English writing competition, we have Vihan S. Pawar at the first position. In Hindi writing, third position. Now we have Pranshi at second position in both Hindi writing and Hindi writing competition, English and Hindi writing competitions. Naira, first in show and tell competition, second in English storytelling competition, and third in Hindi storytelling competition. The next class is LKG, and the first winner is Hyansh Bundel, stood first in show and tell competition. Hyansh Bundel first in show and tell competition, first in English recitation, and third in Hindi recitation. Then we have Ansh, first in Hindi writing, third in English recitation, and third in Hindi recitation as well. Kindly clap for these children. Next is Garvit Tawar, second in English storytelling, and third in show and tell competition. Soumya Singh, first in Hindi recitation, and third in English writing competition. Let's give a huge round of applause for these winners, please. Next is Krishna, first in English storytelling and second in Hindi storytelling. Inakshi Gora stood first in English writing competition. Bhuvnesh Kumar stood second in English writing competition. Hirul Chandwani, third in English storytelling. Tanisha Sharma, second in English recitation. Himanshi, second in Hindi writing competition. Aradhya Khandelwal, third in Hindi writing. Next is Vidit, third in Hindi storytelling. The next class is HKG. Abhay Singh stood first in English recitation. Shlok Kumar, first in Hindi recitation, second in show and tell competition. Nitika, first in English storytelling and second in Hindi storytelling. Pratap Singh, third in English storytelling and third in Hindi writing. Maya Subalika, first in show and tell competition. Ishanvi Jaiswal, first in English writing. Ansh Kumpawat, second in English writing. Isha Verma, third in English writing. Atharv, second in English storytelling. Kanishka Humarwal, third in English recitation. Jia Meena, first in Hindi writing. Sanvi Bundel, second in Hindi writing. Samantha S. Martin, second in Hindi recitation. Anush Gujar, third in Hindi recitation. Moving on to 1A, Inaya Khan stood first in fruit and the eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making competition and second in the drawing competition as well. Next is Harjot Singh, stood second in fruit and salad competition and second in show and tell as well. Mohak Tanwar stood third in fruit and salad competition and second in English calligraphy. Divyanka stood first in bookmark competition and second in Hindi slogan writing competition. Next is Rajveer Soni, stood second in eco-friendly Ganesh idol making competition. Sankalp Bundel stood second in Hindi calligraphy and third in eco-friendly Ganeshi idol making competition. Let's put our hands together for these little winners, please. First in both drawing competition and Master Chef competition. Twinkle Tawar stood third in drawing competition, extemporary and English calligraphy. Daksh Kumar stood third in the solo dance competition. Naitik Dhaya stood first in the Hindi slogan writing and third in the Master Chef competition. Devanshi stood first in Hindi writing, second in extemporary and solo dance, and third in Hindi slogan writing competition. Priyashil stood first in English writing and first in English calligraphy as well. Himanshu stood second in English writing and third in Hindi writing competitions. Mehak stood first in show and tell and first in extemporary. Second in Master Chef competition and third in English writing. Yuvan Tak stood third in show and tell competition. Akhil Indora stood first in Hindi calligraphy. Khushika stood third in best out of waste competition, followed by Bhavin Sobra at second position. He stood first in the best out of waste competition. We now move to class 1B. Tak stood second in both fruit and salad and English writing and third in best out of waste. First in English calligraphy and third in fruit and salad. Mridul Singh, first in Master Chef competition, second in Hindi calligraphy, third in eco-friendly Ganeshi idol making, and third in English writing competition. In the Master Chef competition. First in Hindi calligraphy, third in Master Chef competition, and third in the solo dance competition. Lehek Indora stood second in the Best Out of Waste competition and third in Hindi calligraphy. Stood first in both extempore and show and tell, second in drawing competition and third in English calligraphy. Vedant Sivaria stood second in bookmark competition, third in Hindi slogan and third in Hindi writing as well. Anushka Kanwar stood first both in bookmark and drawing competition, third in the drawing competition. Tanvi Tak stood first in English writing and Best Out of Waste and second in the eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making competition. Shagun Bhadel stood first both in Hindi slogan writing and Hindi writing competitions. Now it is second A for us. First child to be called on stage, Pahel Sharma, first in fruit and salad and Hindi writing. Reet Tak stood first in eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making, second in Hindi calligraphy, third in fruit and salad, show and tell and extempore competitions. Ta stood second in the bookmark competition and second in the Hindi slogan writing competition. Ayush Tak second in the eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making competition, who stood first both in MasterChef and English calligraphy and third in the eco-friendly Ganesh. Dhairya solo dance and Best Out of Waste and second in the extempore. Khushi Sakarwal stood second in the drawing competition and third in Hindi calligraphy. Riyan Sunaria stood third in the drawing competition. Pritish Kumar first in English writing and third positions in Hindi slogan and Hindi writing competitions. Competition and third in MasterChef competition. Paras Sharma, English writing and English calligraphy competitions. Ayush Tawar stood second in English calligraphy. And last, Kian Tak stood second in Best Out of Waste. In extempore, followed by third in Hindi calligraphy. Then we have Palak, first in fruit and salad competition, second in English calligraphy. Kavi Tak stood second in fruit and salad competition and third in extempore and MasterChef competition. Devashish Singh stood second in bookmark competition and third in fruit and salad making competition. Yatika Behrwa stood first in English writing and Hindi writing, second in eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making and MasterChef, and second in solo dance competition as well. Kindly clap for these achievers. Atharv Mahavar stood first in Hindi slogan writing and extempore and third in eco-friendly. Tushar Behrwa stood first in drawing competition and third in English writing competition. He stood second in Hindi calligraphy and third in English writing competition. Hitakshi Meena stood first in MasterChef and solo dance and second in Hindi writing, followed by third in drawing competition. Dhairya Saraswat stood third in English calligraphy and Hindi writing and third in drawing competition as well. Anchit Khandelwal stood second in Hindi slogan writing competition. He stood first in Best Out of Waste and third in Hindi slogan writing. Ishani stood in both English and Hindi calligraphy competitions. Twinkle stood third in show and tell competition. Suresh Gurjar stood second in the show and tell competition. In Best Out of Waste. Now we have Eklavya Tak, third in drawing competition. Falak Tak, third in eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making and English writing competitions. Harishika, second in drawing competition, second Hindi calligraphy and third Hindi writing. Ishmeet Singh, first in English calligraphy and second in bookmark competition. Sharma, first in drawing competition and second in Hindi writing competition. Will, first in bookmark competition and first in Hindi writing. Mera, first in eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making and show and tell competitions. Lavneesh Saini, first in fruit and salad making and third in Master Chef competition. Mahan Parihar, first in extempore and second in English writing. Namrata, first in Hindi calligraphy, second extempore and third show and tell. Nishika, third in fruit and salad competition. Tekansh Chauhan, first in Hindi writing, second in Hindi slogan, third in English calligraphy. Utsavi Sharma, second in fruit and salad, third in extempore and third in solo dance. Vidhan Kumar Meena, second in eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making and English calligraphy. Virat Bachchani, third in bookmark competition. Yashi, first in Hindi slogan writing and second in Best Out of Waste. And last is Usha, first in solo dance competition. Hindi slogan writing, second in Master Chef and third in drawing competition. Ishit Bansal, second in Hindi slogan writing, second Best Out of Waste and third in fruit and salad competition. Nidhi Maurya, second in extempore, third in Hindi slogan and Hindi calligraphy. Aradhya Singh, first in eco-friendly idol making competition. Then we have Manvi Yadav, second in eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making and Hindi writing and third position in bookmark competition. Then we have Praneeth Vaishya, third in eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making and extempore and third in Best Out of Waste as well. Tanishka Dabra, first in drawing competition, English calligraphy and Hindi writing and second in English writing competition. Sarvika Kamar, second in drawing competition and English calligraphy. Jia Sharma, first in English writing and third in show and tell. Ayushi Kalawat, first in show and tell and Hindi calligraphy and first in solo dance as well. Vaibhav Zanaria, third in Hindi writing. Sarthak Saini, first in fruit and salad competition. Daksh Kanjani, first in Master Chef and Best Out of Waste, second in fruit and salad and show and tell. Mitanshu Gehlot, first in bookmark and extempore and third position in MasterChef in English calligraphy. Dipti stood second in Hindi calligraphy competition. Arohi Chittoria stood third in solo dance. Chetana Gurjar second in solo dance. Kartavya Mangani second in bookmark competition. Class 4A in drawing, Hindi calligraphy and Hindi slogan writing. In fruit and salad and third in extemporary. Janak Chauhan second in eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making, third in fruit and salad and Hindi writing as well. Keshav stood first in bookmark competition. Kartik Gupta stood second in bookmark and Hindi calligraphy. Tamanna stood first in MasterChef, second in English calligraphy and third in bookmark. Nancy stood first in eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making competition. Nidhi Chauhan stood second in solo dance and third in eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making competition. Charu S. Rawat stood first in drawing competition and third in solo dance. Vanshita Kumpawat first in Hindi calligraphy and second in drawing competition. Bhumika Rotwal stood first in Hindi slogan writing competition. Gitika stood second in Hindi slogan writing competition. Ashvi Indora stood first in English writing. Ganishka stood first in English calligraphy and Hindi writing and third in English writing. Sonakshi Gora stood first in show and tell. Mahi Gora second in Hindi writing. Sonakshi. Ahmad stood second in show and tell. Third in show and tell. Bhavya Mahar stood second in MasterChef and Best Out of Waste. Ronit Kumar, third in English calligraphy. Ronit Kumar, third in English calligraphy. Ankit Bishnoi, third in Best Out of Waste. P. Lalwani, first in fruit and salad, extemporary and show and tell, second in Best Out of Waste and solo dance. Aradhe Sharma, second in fruit and salad, third in bookmark competition and third in Best Out of Waste. Priyansh Kachawa, first in Best Out of Waste and third in fruit and salad. Khushveer Walia, first in English calligraphy, second bookmark, third English writing, show and tell and Hindi calligraphy competitions. Himanshi Bundel, first in English writing, second bookmark, third in eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making competition. Ishika Kachawa, first in eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making, second Hindi slogan, Hindi calligraphy. Naman Nayak stood third in Hindi calligraphy and eco-friendly Ganeshji idol making, Hindi slogan writing and Hindi writing competitions. Bundel, second in drawing competition. Drishti Jhala, third in drawing competition and solo dance. Harshi Gora, first in Hindi slogan writing. Divyansh Joshi, first in MasterChef competition, second English writing and third English calligraphy. Veer Tawar, first in Hindi writing and Hindi calligraphy. Harshita Singh, second in show and tell and third in MasterChef competition. And the last in this class is Siddhi. No, we have Vanchika Tak, in second in MasterChef and third in extemporary, followed by Siddhi Chauhan, first in solo dance. Class 5, Tapasya Mahavar, first in fruit and salad competition and MasterChef competition. Aditi Tak, second in fruit and salad competition. Third in fruit and salad competition. Naina Sisodia, second in bookmark and third in solo dance competition. Diksha, third in bookmark competition and third in English calligraphy. Jatin Aswani, first in eco-friendly Ganeshi idol making competition. Then we have Harshit Singh, first in drawing competition. Stood second in the drawing competition. Kritika Singh, third in drawing. Renuka Bundel, first in English calligraphy, second Hindi slogan writing, Hindi calligraphy and solo dance. Daksh stood third in Hindi slogan writing and show and tell. Rehan Saini stood first in English writing and second in Hindi calligraphy. Charvi stood second in show and tell and third in English writing. Mayank Mahavar stood first in Hindi writing. Harshal stood second in Hindi writing. Avika Panchal stood first in show and tell, first in show and contemporary and first in Hindi calligraphy. Rudra Sharma stood third in extemporary. Sharma stood second in the MasterChef competition. Ravi Sharma stood third in the MasterChef competition. Dakshika Mahavar stood first in the solo dance competition. QT Tawar stood second in best out of waste and third in solo dance. Class 6A now. Aditya Kumar, second in Hindi Shlok competition. Arushi Sakla, first in Hindi calligraphy, second in English calligraphy, inter-house group dance and English speech, third position. Dimpesh Tak, third in spell bee. Hridyanshi Ajmera, first in English speech, English extemporary, English storytelling and best out of waste, and second in inter-house group dance. Janvi Verma, third position in Hindi Shlok competition and Hindi calligraphy. Kavya stood first in Hindi speech. Nikhil Bachani stood second in Hindi extemporary. Niyati Saraswat stood second in English extemporary, storytelling and third in inter-house solo dance. Poshika stood first in Hindi extemporary, Hindi storytelling and second in English speech. Puneet Sogra stood second in spell bee. Rakshita Sharma stood first in Hindi Shlok competition, English calligraphy, second in crossword, and third in best art of waste. Sameer Gurjar stood second in Hindi speech, third in English extemporary, and Hindi extemporary as well. Sarvesh stood second in Hindi calligraphy and third in Hindi speech. Tejaswani Singh stood first in inter-house group dance. Vaibhav Sharma stood first in crossword and inter-house patriotic singing, second in best art of waste and inter-house group singing, and third in English calligraphy. Vansh Kanojia stood first in Hindi storytelling and third in crossword puzzle. And last, Daksha Kumar, second in inter-house patriotic singing competition. Class 6B, we have Kashish first in spell bee, English speech, English storytelling, and second in Hindi extemporary. Yashi Sogra first in Hindi shlok, second in English storytelling and calligraphy, and second inter-house group dance, and third position in best art of waste. Anushka Solanki second position in inter-house solo, inter-house group dance, Hindi slok, and second position in Hindi speech. Nikhil Kumar, first in English extemporary, second in spell bee and English speech, and third in Hindi speech and English storytelling. Tejas Sharma stood third in Hindi shlok and idioms and Hindi extemporary. Indrajit Singh Mahavar stood first in Hindi storytelling and crossword puzzle, and third in Hindi calligraphy. Sameer Tanwar stood second in idioms and extemporary. Anjali Solanki stood first in Hindi speech and extemporary and Hindi calligraphy as well. Pragati Jain stood third in spell bee competition. Sameer Chauhan stood third in English speech competition. Pavitra Tak stood first in idioms competition, second in extemporary, and third Hindi storytelling. Ronak Raj stood second in Hindi storytelling crossword puzzle. Vaibhav Gora stood second in inter-house group singing and inter-house patriotic singing competition. Nandini stood second in the inter-house group singing competition. And last, Harshita stood second in Hindi calligraphy. Class 7 now. Amritansh stood first in best art of waste, second in the extemporary, and third in inter-house orchestra playing. Tanish Tak stood first in English speech, English extemporary, and third in Hindi debate and Hindi extemporary. Swarali Ranawat stood first in English extemporary, second inter-house patriotic, third group dance, solo dance, and inter-house singing. Kshitij Verma stood first in Hindi speech and crossword puzzle, and second in English calligraphy. Rigvedita stood first in inter-house group dance, second Hindi shlok speaking, third position Hindi speech and crossword puzzle. Jaya Adhi stood second in storytelling, third in English calligraphy, best art of waste. Sahil stood first in English calligraphy, second in best art of waste, and second in spell bee. Vanshika Bundel stood third in Hindi calligraphy. Jal Saini stood first in inter-house group dance, second in crossword puzzle, and third in spell bee. Tia Mahavar stood first in inter-house group dance. Shrishti Kherwal stood first in inter-house group dance. Sparsh stood first, second in inter-house orchestra playing. Krishna stood first in inter-house patriotic singing competition. Anubhuti stood first in inter-house group singing, extemporary and idiom, second in inter-house solo singing. Priyanshu stood first in storytelling, calligraphy and spell bee, and second in inter-house group singing. Yuvraj stood first in Hindi speech and third in idiom speaking competition. Dikshika stood second in Hindi calligraphy. And we have Shiva at the first position in Hindi extemporary, English speech, Hindi debate, English extemporary, and second in the inter-house group dance. Now we have class 8 students. Abhiki Pratap Singh, first in inter-house patriotic, second inter-house group dancing and Hindi speech. Bhavika, third in Hindi calligraphy. Dhairya Raj, first in inter-house group singing, spell bee and Hindi calligraphy, and second in Hindi speech. Divyanshu, first Hindi shlok speaking competition, English extemporary and Hindi debate, second position. Harshit Verma, first in English speech, English extemporary, and second in storytelling. Dhruv Saini, first in storytelling, second English extemporary, and third English debate. Jitesh Sen, first position idioms, second English calligraphy, third position English speech, and in extemporary as well as best out of waste. Kanishka Hada, first position in Hindi debate, second in English speech, and third in spell bee. Manasvi, second position in crossword puzzle, third in English calligraphy, inter-house group dance, and inter-house group singing. Pavitra, first position in best out of waste, second inter-house patriotic singing, third position inter-house group singing and group dance, and as well as Hindi speech. Farhan Khan stood second in Hindi shlok speaking, Hindi extemporary and storytelling competitions. Rishabh Gaur stood second in spell bee, idioms and Hindi extemporary. Shreya Sharma stood first in inter-house group dance, English calligraphy and Hindi speech. Samarth Sharma stood third in crossword puzzle. Jasmine stood first in inter-house solo singing and inter-house dance competition. Rashmita stood third in best out of waste. Kushal Singh Gehlot stood third in spell bee. Nakul stood third in idiom speaking competition, and Dimple Berwa stood third in the Hindi extemporary. Now we have the announcement for the best houses, the overall trophies, and the runners-up trophy goes to Shakespeare House. Jasmine, Pavitra, Harshal, Amritan, Chavika, Swarali, Nandini, Manasvi. Shreya Sharma, please come on stage. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parents of all others. To show our gratitude, we would now felicitate our chief guest. Ma'am.